At 25 years old, I made my first $10,000 month on the side of my full-time 9 to 5 job. I quit my job and quit corporate America for good. The reason I was able to do this was not because I got lucky or found some secret hack. It was because I decided to go all in on something, cut the excuses, and actually change my life. After months of struggling to give myself a million reasons not to do something, I stayed locked in and was laser focused on one opportunity when everyone else was jumping from one opportunity to the next. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything that I did to get out of my 9 to 5 job and show you that no matter who you are or what your situation is, you can change the trajectory of your entire life. It is not too late. Now, the very first thing I want to make very clear is I don't want there to be any disconnection when I say I made $10,000 in a singular month, because a lot of people, when they hear that, when they watch these type of videos, think that that's just very unattainable or you're so far away from it. I will tell you this. I was at rock bottom just about 4.5 months from making this exact video right now. I, for the longest time, thought I was going to be a full-time musician. I started a band, and for 4 years we were rocking out, and I thought for sure that music was going to be my full-time gig, and the band fell apart in December, and I gave that pretty much everything I had, and when it ended, I was left with kind of the decision to make, where it was like, do I start, with something else in music and go from the bottom, or what do I do? But I knew what I didn't want to do. I knew I wasn't built to sit behind a desk and do this meaningless work that was achieving nothing for me. It was giving me no sense of purpose, no value. I felt like I was providing zero to little value to society, and it bugged me because I've always been a very ambitious person. Meaning I've always had the biggest dreams, and I always told everyone exactly where I saw my future. And when the band ended, I just ultimately in my head I felt a little bit like a failure, right? But I knew that if I didn't make a change or some sort of life-altering decision, that I'd get stuck, and I was going down this certain road of a future that I knew that I didn't want. And that's when kind of everything changed. And I want to say that's kind of when the switch flipped in my head, but ultimately I can't pinpoint an exact moment in time, but I just knew that I was at rock bottom and I had to make a change. So if you're watching this, just know that not long ago, I was probably in the same position you are, watching the same video, and I just don't want there to be any disconnection from you and me, okay? Because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel pretty hopeless and feel like you just have more to give. So this video is for you, just to give you some encouragement, okay? After the band ended and I was working this 9 to 5 job, I knew that I wanted to do more in life, like I was saying. And the only way to do that was to get my freedom back. Because while I didn't really know what I wanted to do, I knew what I didn't want to do. And that made one thing very clear. I had to get out of the corporate world because I was sick of it. After about 5 years in the corporate world, after I graduated college, I was just like, I cannot continue doing this, especially when I'm barely saving enough every single year to the point where I'm probably not going to retire till I'm in my mid 60s, 70s, right? So that's when I decided I need to figure out how to make money online. That's when I said, I don't know what I have to do, but I'm going to do it. I didn't know the first thing about business. I didn't know the first thing about sales. I didn't know the first thing about marketing or anything like that. I had a little bit of a background in posting piano content for my music page, but I didn't have a background in really content or anything or strategy or anything like that. And so I was at square zero. I originally started making a piano course where I built a YouTube channel for piano, and I spent probably over $1,000 on that website, and then another $500 or $600 on the course itself to put it together. And I spent a lot of time and effort into it, and I ultimately only got like 3 sales because I realized, I was like, maybe this isn't the best thing to do, because I don't think people are going to want to pay me a lot of money to learn piano. That's where my head was at, and I wasn't really enjoying it. When I said I'm a musician, I didn't want to be a musician who was big for teaching people. I wanted to be a musician for playing my own music. But I knew I needed money to have that career as a possibility, and I just didn't really want to just have to teach people. And so I said, you know what, I don't think that the piano course is right for me, and I moved on. And I moved on to making crossword books on Amazon. Here's a couple of them, just to show you. I'm not capping, they are on Amazon. And I lost money on this, but I had to learn the skill of how to build the books or make the books and how to offer them on Amazon. And I thought maybe that would make me some extra money, and it didn't. I lost money on that too. So I had already started and failed at 2 business models, and on to my third. I started a Shopify store called The Stress Shop, where I sold, I think it was like a vintage Bluetooth speaker or something. I thought it looked cool. I didn't know the first thing about this, and I just went all in. And I ultimately lost more money. I spent about $600 on ads, then I didn't get a single sale. And I learned how to build a site though, which was good. And again, here we are in this big hole. I have no momentum. And then I came across an opportunity, TikTok Shop. And at the time, I didn't, if you're new to TikTok Shop, you don't know what it is. I was the same way. I had no idea what it was. I just saw a video of a guy talking about it. He was like, I made $10,000 on TikTok Shop. I was like, okay, we see these videos all the time. What is that really about? That's when I did some research into it, and I was like, wow, so TikTok Shop is basically affiliate marketing as a creator, right? So it's if I were to sell you this crossword puzzle and you were to buy it from a video I make, you would get, or I would get a commission. So I don't have to touch the book. I don't have to touch any of the fulfillment parts of the order, any of the returns, any of the pain in the butts that come with having your own brand or being on the seller side. I was just affiliate marketing for products. I was like, that sounds like a good gig. I think I can do that. I'm gonna go all in. And that's what I did. In January, I dropped everything I was doing and went all in on TikTok Shop. This was January of 2025. I think I'm making this video, it's July 25th, 2025. So not even, 7 months ago, this is when I decided to do it. My first 3 months on TikTok Shop, going in with full confidence, I barely made any money. My first month, I made $0. My second month, I made, I think it was like $33. And my third month, I made $86 or something like that. And this was while working a full-time 8 to 5 job and posting at least three videos a day, every single day, and going live. I was allocating all of my weekends to this, and I was treating it very seriously, and I didn't have much to show for it. And I promise you, everybody thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was crazy. My family didn't really understand what I was doing, and I don't blame anybody because the idea of this sounded nuts. It sounded insane, right? Here I am posting advertisements on videos on TikTok Shop, and people knew me as a musician. So I knew that I had to be okay with coming off as crazy for a little bit, but I was just so sure that I would inevitably succeed with this. And so I kept going. After March, having seen no success, I decided I have to get help. I need to get help. There's so many people who are succeeding, it seemed like, and I wasn't, and it was bugging me. And so for the first time in my life, I pulled the trigger on a mentorship, which is something that always freaked me out because these courses and mentors all over get these terrible reputations. And I was like, well, that's scary, right? I've never done one before. And I bought my first mentorship with somebody. And quickly I realized I made the wrong decision. And a couple weeks into that mentorship, I was like, this guy's not helping me. And I was out $3,000, and that was scary. So now I'm in a $3,000 hole on top of all the other L's I've taken, and I haven't seen any success with this. And again, I feel like I'm at square zero. So what do? This was the turning point. I bought another mentorship for another $3,000. So here I was in a $6,000 hole with TikTok Shop, still having seen any success. And I took a chance on this one guy that I saw. I liked his videos, and having had such a bad experience with that last mentorship, I knew better questions to ask going into this, and I could read this guy a lot better. And so I took a chance with him, and he had a good strategy, a winning strategy, and he actually helped. And I had my back against the wall. Being out $6,000, I had no choice but to succeed. I had literally bills to pay, and I only had about $90 in my account at the time. I had to pull money out of my savings account to do the mentorship, which nobody would have advised me to do. I didn't tell a single person I did this because I knew they would have thought I was crazy. Spending $6,000 on something that not many people even know about to learn a skill that I have no idea what I'm really doing in. I took that chance, and I put my back against the wall, and I forced myself to succeed. After 1 month in the mentorship, I didn't see a whole lot of success, but I got better, and my numbers got better. After my second month, I did about, I believe, $1.8 thousand during my second month. And after the mentorship ended and I had all the skill sets I needed to move forward, I did a $10,700 month on TikTok Shop in the month of May 2025. The coolest part was I documented everything on a separate TikTok account that I started on March 21st. I made my first post on that account from square zero. I told people that I wanted to quit my job, and I said, screw it, I'm going to tell the universe what I wanted to do. And that's what I did. I told the universe, I'm at square zero. This is not a success story. I'm just going to document everything that happens. So yeah, this page is here's what I did to be successful. This is like a gamble on myself. Like, hey, I'm not there yet. I'm right probably where you are, who's watching this. Here we go. Like, let's do it. Let's lock in. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. It's like a movie, right? So on the side of my TikTok Shop, I made a separate page from 0 followers that I shared my journey with, all the way from $0 to $10,000 a month, because I know when people see these videos, they think it's a bunch of BS. And I didn't want it to come across as BS. So I said, you know what, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna document everything, and I did. And that's why I made that page, and I shared a bunch of helpful tips on that page as well. And the coolest part is that page has grown to like 12,000 followers in just a couple months. And it's all because I just had this crazy vision in my head that I wanted to do more with my life. I said I wanted to do more than sit behind a desk. I knew I had more to offer the world. And here we are. I quit my job in June 6th. I'm a man of my word, so I'm going in right now to resign from my corporate job and leave the corporate world behind me. I quit my job, and this was after giving myself a goal in January. I said, by June, I need to quit my job, and I'll do anything that I have to do that. And I quit. And it was scary, and there was a lot of uncertainty, and there still is uncertainty. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I have everything figured out, but I do know that I'm a lot more certain that this is the route I want to go. Because before, I was certain of my future, but I was also certain it was not a future I wanted. So now there's a lot of uncertainty, but I'm more certain now than ever before that this is the path I want to be in, because now I have control of my life, and I have the reins of my life. Whether I succeed or fail, it's on me. It's not on my employer to tell me what to do. It's up to me to tell me what to do, because it's my life. And I do firmly believe that is how we should all live our lives. So I made this video, and I hope none of this comes across as braggy, because I don't want to be the guy that is in your face telling you, I made $10,000 in a month and it's super easy. It wasn't easy. I put a lot of work into this, and I still do. And but I also want to show the world what's possible to start from square zero, from having nothing going for you, to taking risks and betting on yourself and being so sure that you're going to succeed that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you or your decisions. That's the type of mentality you have to have. And once you make that decision for your life, that's when everything changes. That's when you take those risks and you take those opportunities, and then you start seeing more opportunities. Now all these other opportunities opened up, like with my mentor that I went to. I actually went out and actually met him and a couple other guys in my community, and now I have a group of people that I know that are all in the same industry as me, that are all successful guys. And you know, I didn't really have that before. And like I've got a friend group, but these are guys who are actually more aligned to the business that I'm working with. And it's great to talk to these people about that. I don't feel so isolated and alone anymore. But it's all because that one decision I made led me to all of these things now, right? So now I'm friends with my mentor, I'm friends with these people, and it just led me to this life of now I'm starting my own business and consulting company and a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I've always been so scared to do it and commit to it. But this time it's for real. And this probably is going to be my first video. And so I wanted to just be as real as possible with you guys. There's not gonna be any crazy editing. It's just gonna be me sitting here talking. That's how probably most of my videos are gonna be, because we live in a world where everything's just overly edited and overly faked, and it's all about everything's perfect in my life. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys on this channel. I'll tell you what's going on. I'll tell you where I'm at, but I just want you guys to know that I am no different from probably where you are right now watching this video. And if I could do it, you could 100% do this, you know? And yeah, so that's really kind of what I wanted to make this video about today. And again, I'm not sharing this story to brag, just to show you that, you know, 6 months ago, I was sitting in an office job just like you might be right now, feeling trapped and knowing that I'm capable of so much more. So maybe you're working a 9-to-5 job that drains your soul, or maybe you're tired of trading your time for money that barely covers your bills. I always hated that. I was trading all my time for something that I just felt so unfulfilled doing, and I barely had enough money to live. The difference between people who change their lives and people who stay stuck isn't talent or luck. It is the willingness to take the first step when everyone else thinks you're crazy, right? If you want the system that I used, if TikTok Shop is something you're interested in, I didn't cover too much in detail about it. I can always refer you guys over to my mentor. I will leave a link to his channel. And if you do want to book a call with him, I can get a link so you can book a call with him if that's something you want to do. But remember, knowledge without action is completely worthless. I could have watched videos forever and nothing would have changed until I put action in and put myself back against the wall and force myself to succeed and win. So I just want everyone to know I don't have everything figured out, and I will be as honest as possible on this channel about where I'm at. And I'm going to be documenting my journey as well on this on this YouTube channel, as well as sharing with you guys as much knowledge and guidance as possible, because the only thing I want to do is help you get out of your job or a miserable situation, because there is more to life. There is more, and we only have one life, so we need to be living it to its fullest potential. We only get one chance to do this right. So why not start now?